So the Andor Season 2 trailer is here, and it's about 6 weeks before Season 2 is set to get underway. I do love how they just throw it out on a random Monday with no warning whatsoever. Just cause chaos in the community. But yeah, we've obviously gone without any kind of Star Wars content for about 6 weeks now since Skeleton Crew ended, and that was a fantastic show, by the way. It really does feel like Star Wars is slowly bouncing back from, recent controversies, shall we say. I think with the Acolytes, whether you loved it or hated it, you got to admit it was divisive. And, the future of Star Wars has kind of been in doubt. There's been definitely a lot of questions around future content. Not a lot of solid news on movies going forward. And again, all kinds of speculation. So it is nice to have something solid. And especially Andor in its final season. And, I think the big question is, can it live up to the quality of the first season? Again, I think the first season of Andor, head and shoulders above anything else that Disney has done, including Mandalorian for me. Not to say that, again, Mandalorian has been bad, but, you kind of had Mandalorian season 1 was the cream of the crop. Andor came along and just blew that out of the water. And it was fantastic. So, again, Tony Gilroy in charge. Every chance this is going to be just as good. There's going to be a bit of a different structure in terms of the arcs. There's going to be big time jumps. I think there's going to be 5 years worth of time jumps in the show, and it's going to be a year per arc until we get right up to the events of Rogue One. Some things we know that are probably going to happen. The Gorman Massacre, I think, is one of those things that are probably going to happen. I remember from the trailer earlier on, there was a little snippet of some kind of new TIE Advanced, which I would very much be interested to see what, that arc is. I get a feeling they've got to go into an Imperial base, steal this new prototype. That would be a lot of fun for me. And also, see what Dedra Meero has been up to, Cyril Khan, all those kind of other side, the Empire side of things. That's going to be a really, really interesting thing to see. So let's jump in, let's watch the trailer, and let's see what we think.
We're in a war. You want to fight?
Okay.
Or you want to win?
He's in that TIE fighter. Ooh, okay. I like it. He's looking much more Rogue One-like. Interesting soundtrack. That Bix, yep. There's Krennic. Oh. What is that? That is an interesting looking ship. Oh, I love the dress robes. Oh, look at that. K2SO. Has he permed his hair? Oh, that looks... yeah.
Remember this moment. You're here. You're right here, and you're ready to fight.
Love it. Gotta finish up with the drip. Okay, so some interesting clips there. I think, again, pretty much everything that we expected. There's a bit of everything. I'm just kind of rewatching through some of the bits of it, but again, all the characters who we expect to be there. A nice little shot of Krennic right in front of the, under construction Death Star, which is nice. But again, I think it doesn't give much away in terms of, yes, we're going to see the Gorman Massacre. It looks like we're going to see some stuff on Coruscant. It looks as though, I think, yeah, Bix... I couldn't tell if Bix and Cassian were on Coruscant at some point. But yeah, I don't know. It looks intense, doesn't it? It's so difficult. I mean, it was an interesting soundtrack. I'll admit it was definitely not what you'd expect from a Star Wars show, I guess. Just little snippets. Again, this was only like a minute and a half long, but we saw K2SO in there. Lots of little hints at rebellion. Saw Gerrera obviously looking more and more, what would you say, like Rogue One, like, I guess is the best way to kind of describe it. I love the look of the TIE Advanced, and there's a point at which it looks like Mon Mothma just lets loose and just absolutely parties, which is great. I love that. I love the idea that she's just had so much shit over the last few years. That's Zuko deciding to scratch everything up to hell. But yeah, Mon Mothma looking like she's, just been through so much shit in the last few years that she's just like, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to let my hair down and let loose. And that's great. Again, some other, bits just running through. A lot of people screaming. Cassian looking very classy. Cyril Khan looking like he's got a bit of a Victorian-style perm on the go there. I think he's still working in the Bureau of Standards based off of his dress. But, again, not much really to go off. It just looks like everything is ramping up for the eventual end of this show. And again, I'm guessing that the Krennic stuff is going to be towards the end of the season. The Death Star completion is going to take focus maybe in the last arc. Maybe that will be Cassian, going to try and find out what's been going on with Bodhi. They've heard rumours of the cargo pilot. As I say, Gorman Massacre, stealing the prototype ship. There's definitely a weird kind of planet that looks like, I guess, Idaho or Iowa. I don't know, whichever state has a lot of corn fields. And it looks like... what's his name now? I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who knocked out the stormtrooper, not the stormtrooper, but the Imperial trooper with the brick. Brasso, is it? I think. Yeah. He's on that planet, so I've got a horrible feeling that, again, some people are probably going to die here. Some people are probably going to meet their end, and I really hope that it's not the people that we think. There's a shot of X-Wings taken off, and it looks like Saw Gerrera's X-Wings, because I'm looking at the paint job on them, and it's the black X-Wing that we see in Rogue One outside of his base. And I get the feeling that he's killed someone, maybe an informant, who knows, but they're definitely dead on the floor there. Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of a farming planet, and the stormtroopers there, Brasso's there. I think his name's Brasso. God, I should remember. I only watched this show again a couple of months ago. But no, it looks good. I can't really say much because, again, there's not really much to go off of. But it looks fantastic. And, again, I can't wait to see where we go. I think, with this show, there is a lot of trust. Some other shows you're kind of like, oh, I'm not so sure. But I think most people are like, Tony Gilroy, we kind of trust you with this. I think you know what you're doing. So, yeah, let me know what you think of it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the next video.